Hello and welcome to this instructional video. Today I will walk you through proper care for Hermann's tortoise, especially if you're living in an apartment or a small space. We will talk about the origin of these tortoises, proper care, and tips and tricks. First things first, we need to talk about the difference between turtles and tortoises. Let's talk through some information. Did you know that all tortoises are turtles? But not all turtles are tortoises. The label turtle refers to any reptile with a body encased in a bony shell. For example, turtles can have flippers, they can swim, they have a flatter shell, and they eat both plants and animals. Tortoises are simply turtles that mainly live on land. They can swim, but they're not equipped to swim for a long period of time. Tortoises also have more of a dome-shaped shell, and they are herbivores, meaning they have a diet of mostly vegetables or grasses. Now that we've identified the key differences between turtles and tortoises, let's talk about the type of tortoise we will be learning to care for in this video. This video is all about Hermann's tortoises. Now, there are two major types, Western and Eastern. Western Hermann's tortoises are very rare both in nature and in captivity. They are smaller, with males not usually surpassing 4 inches and females no more than 6. These tortoises are also more colorful. Then we have the more common Eastern tortoise. These tortoises are the ones you will most commonly see at your local pet store. Females can reach 8 inches, while males can grow up to 7 inches. Let's talk about how to house a tortoise indoors. Adult tortoises need a lot of space as they are natural grazers. If you have the space, they should have an enclosure that is 8 by 4 feet at a minimum. If you have a baby tortoise, a 2 by 3 feet enclosure will work. The enclosure should be wood or a similar hardy material. Do not use glass. Tortoises do not understand boundaries and it will stress them out. Inside the enclosure, use approximately 4 inches of cypress mulch, which you can find at your local pet or hardware store. Also inside the enclosure, you will need at least 2 places for your tortoise to hide, a food dish, and a water dish. Those are the bare minimum requirements. Now, let's discuss 3 very important topics. First, know that your tortoise will need a warm side with a hot basking spot and a cool side. The cool end can be anywhere from 68 to 80 degrees, and the warm end should be 85 degrees or higher. The basking area should be 90 degrees up to 105 degrees only for adults. Secondly, know that your tortoise always needs access to at least 70% humidity. To do this, you should close off the top of the enclosure or build a closed-top enclosure and keep a spray bottle on hand to mist the enclosure a couple times a day. For indoor lighting, you will need a 10.0 UVB bulb and a 100-watt basking light. Your tortoise will need 12 to 14 hours of light every day. You can measure all of these with digital trackers on the left, middle, and right side of the enclosure. The middle tracker should also measure humidity. Let's discuss another very important topic, food. It is crucial that your tortoise has a low protein, high fiber, and calcium-rich diet. The best possible solution is to grow pesticide-free dandelion, escarole, and endive. Also, your tortoise should be eating Missouri tortoise chow several times a week. You can buy this on Amazon, and it ensures that your tortoise remains healthy and happy. Use fruit sparingly and only as a treat. It should not be part of the regular diet. Tortoises cannot digest fruit well. In order to make sure your tortoise gets proper calcium intake, dust their food with calcium sparingly, at the most once a week. Provide a cuddle bone, which you can buy on Amazon so the tortoise can regulate their own calcium. Let's talk about a daily routine for your tortoise. In the morning, you'll want to feed your tortoise, fill up their water bowl, and turn on the lights. Also, make sure to pick up any waste. Throughout the day, you'll want to spray down their enclosure and make sure that the humidity and temperatures are all good. At the end of the day, you'll want to turn off their lights. Caring for a tortoise is really very simple. Just getting set up can require a lot of work. Let's talk about another important topic, handling. Once a month, you will need to get new cypress mulch and clean out the entire enclosure. When you do this, put your tortoise in a bowl with lukewarm water. Otherwise, you should not be handling your tortoise often. These animals do not need to be pampered or cuddled with, and it also might even stress them out. Here are some general tips and tricks for your tortoise. I would advise you to buy a temperature gun to accurately track your temperatures. If your tortoise is resistant to the Missouri tortoise chow, I'd advise you to buy a salad dressing for them. You can find this on Amazon. I'd also recommend buying a digital timed surge protector. This is the easiest way to ensure the lights are coming on and off at the right times. Lastly, if you're having trouble keeping the heat up in your enclosure, you can buy a ceramic heat emitter. These can be found at your local pet store or on Amazon. Thank you for taking the time to watch this instructional video. I hope you learned a lot about how to care for your Hermann's tortoise.